was a time when I started, it was very, very young. Take a look at it today, and the women's game very much in demand.
Women's basketball obviously has grown tremendously. The grass grows where it's watered.
It's like a snowball effect. It's gonna keep rolling and keep growing.
We're at a place where it's busting through the seams. People want more and more and more and more.
You're not gonna see a season like this probably for a really long time.
I would say I'm a hometown hero, but I would say I wouldn't be able to do it without the support and the community and everyone just having our backs. My name is Desiree Young, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. UNLV was kind of my only offer coming out of high school, and the coaches before, Lindy, Coach KO, she really wanted me. She seen, the potential in me. It really made me feel like this was a place I could be, and I'm from Vegas. I wanted to stay here, represent for my family, for the city. We're heading to my middle school, Francis Courtney Junior High School, stomping grounds. This is the middle school I went to from 6th grade to 8th grade. This is just a little area that I grew up in. Super duper excited to be back here. So many memories. That's where I started taking basketball serious. I was 12 years old. My uncle was like, "You're getting tall, you have to play basketball. There's nothing else that you're gonna do." So I was just like, I might as well join the team. So we're walking to the outside courts. This is kind of where I first got my little meal of basketball. Coach Orlando, who was our coach at the time, he had us just run around. We didn't even dribble the ball that day, so I just remember that day, and it'll forever be in the back of my mind. It brings back a lot of memories of when I wasn't as talented as I am now. It's just like, it's crazy for me to even be back at the first place where I actually started playing basketball, where I actually took it seriously, so it really feels good. Someone like me who's from here, yeah, I'm the hometown hero, but I really wouldn't be able to do it without my teammates just coming to play with me and play with UNLV. Now we're at Whitney. This is just the place that I came after school and just to hoop and even just to have fun. This is kind of the gym where, I don't know, I cooked a lot of guys up. You can ask him right here. Tell him how I was cooking them in here. But I mean, I just had fun, played a lot of basketball, met a lot of great people, a lot of great athletes. I don't really feel like a lot of pressure. I feel like I just play my game, and one thing I like to do is win, and I just think about everyone in the community and how they see us and how they see me. And anywhere I go and people notice me, it's just like, wow, you guys really come to our games and you guys really watch us. And people even know my stat line, and I'm just like, oh, you really come to the games. I mean, I think it's great.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? You want a picture? Come here. It's a blessing, it really is, and it feels good. It feels like the weight's off my shoulders. It feels like I could do nothing wrong in their eyes. But I don't want to seem like someone who's stuck up and just like she's always about herself, but I'm a caring person, I'm happy, this is what I do. They added a little water park. This is cute. When I was here, I would literally be at this every day if this was here. But my favorite part, I'm not even gonna lie, was the swings. This is the best part. I'm such a child. Of course I want to be remembered for basketball because this is, how I got here and how people see me. So, I mean, just remembered for the things that I do and just how I contribute to the team and the community.
Growing up here, I feel like South Carolina and Don always been a great program, so I just always go to the games. I think it was always one of my goals in life was to play for Don and for South Carolina.
Right there, trust your teammates. Trust your teammates. If you don't trust yourself, at least trust your teammates.
During my recruiting process, Dawn, she was just real straightforward. She didn't give me high expectations and stuff. She just told me what it was, what they would need from me as a player, and I felt like that's what really drew me on to South Carolina a lot because she was just honest, and she just made me feel like it was home.
I mean, we got, I think, a generational talent in Malaysia Fuwali. Having a homegrown talent, we know what that looks like. We know the pressures that come with playing in your hometown. We know the pressures of the family, the friends, and everybody that's supporting you in that way and want you to be great. But they also see the transformation, and the transformation is not always great. Like, there are gonna be some times which are challenging. For them to be able to trust me and us with her career means a great deal. So it's a lot of communication. We want to make sure we take care of her. Like, I got to make sure I take care of her. Not just what she can do on the basketball court, but just all of it. Because it's an opportunity for her to not only be a generational talent, but to bring generational wealth to her family.
It's amazing just being here, staying in town, playing for my family, being able to look into the crowd and seeing my auntie and my cousins and my mom and my sisters, just knowing that my support system is still strong as I went on to the next level. Crane Forest Park would definitely be the place where I grew as a person and a player, because it wasn't always easy playing against the boys that were there, and it wasn't always hard. So I feel like some days I'll be feeling like I'm the best thing outside of the neighborhood, and other days I feel like I'm just a little girl, can't compete with the rest of them. So I feel like it helped me grow mentally and physically. Also, Bethlehem Baptist Church, twice a week I go to practice there, and then I play on Sundays. So I just felt like just growing up, just being around other people who want to play basketball as well as me just helped me just stay motivated to keep playing.
Game atmosphere, Colonial Life Arena, I think it's unmatched, and I know a lot of people will argue that point. When it's 18,000 people willing you to win, they get loud. It's almost they're putting their pride on the line, their pride of us winning, their pride of them having bragging rights around the city of Columbia and the state of South Carolina. It's a lifestyle for them, so they get behind us, and when you're getting behind something that you actually believe in, because our fans believe in us, like they believe in us every day of the week. They're having conversations about our team, and not only how we're performing, how they're performing on a game-to-game basis.
It means a lot how great they support the women's basketball here. When I was younger and I used to go to games and watch it, like, the crowd was always still engaged. They were the same, all screaming, cheering, yelling. So it's just always good when you got supportive fans like ours. They just behind us every step of the way. But like me and Ash, we talk about it a lot. It just feels like unreal sometimes. Like we talk about, like, dang, like we used to talk about this when we were younger, talking about both playing for South Carolina, but like actually being in the game and having South Carolina like over our chest, it just gives me motivation, brings pride, just knowing that all my supporters just out there and I'm just doing it for my hometown.
Paige is great. I think Paige is probably the leanest basketball player to ever grace our game. You look at her efficiency. She doesn't take bad shots.
There's players like Paige Beckers who hasn't always had the opportunity to be healthy throughout her college career, but I think her finesse and her ability to make reads in very quick moments of live action where teams are doing their best to throw every kind of defensive scheme at her. Her poise and her consistency of making the correct read every time, it's special, and you don't really see that in a player that is typically young like her.
She's one of those players, she get a slight read and she gonna shoot it or she gonna pass it or she just gonna make the right plays.
Nobody puts more pressure on me than I put on myself, and I'm nowhere to where I want to be yet. I haven't reached my full potential, and I believe I want to be perfect, and you can never attain being perfect, so I feel like there's always going to be something that I can work on and that I can get better at. But I would say most of the pressure comes from me, just myself wanting to be great.
I think there's a lot of really great women's basketball players who excel at certain parts of the game. Like, one thing about me is I'm willing to learn from everybody. Early in my career, I knew the expectations that were on me. Like, I was supposed to be one of the best freshmen in the country. I've learned, I've reflected, I've grown, I've done the mental work to be where I'm at today, where I can honestly say opinions are subjective and people are gonna think I'm great and people are gonna think I'm not so great. I embrace everything that comes to me, but at the same time, you know, I choose to give my energy where I want it to go. Angel Reese, I love her mentality and getting to be around her every day. Her competitiveness and her drive to win and be a winner is something that I admire and inspires me to continue to compete.
I don't feel any pressure that a lot of people put me at a high pedestal. I know I have a lot of improvement. I don't really get into individual accolades. My big goal is making it easier for me to score and just making it easier for my teammates to score as well, and doing whatever it takes to win and elevate my game.
If I'm playing against the best players in the nation every day in practice, then it's like a love, friendly competition as well, because like you see what they're doing everything, so you're like, I'm trying to do it like that. You playing with Haley and playing with Angel, like you have to reach to their level.
Obviously, Caitlin, she's just a joy to watch. She makes watching basketball extremely fun with everything that she does.
She's amazing. I think she's gonna change the game for women's sports. She has a great work ethic, one of the greatest in college basketball.
She's obviously one of the most prominent athletes in general right now, and so she's great for the game, extremely skilled. I admire her ability to really dominate a game.
I think being one of the best players, you can certainly feel the pressure at times, but I don't think it's anything I shy away from. I think that's what, as a competitor, you love, and those are the moments that you rise to. At times it certainly can be overwhelming, but as somebody who loves competing and loves going out there and playing every single night, I embrace it and I love it.
Caitlin leads by example all the time. She's the first one in the gym, last one to leave, and she's learning to become a leader by her voice as well. So building her teammates up or holding them accountable. Her leadership skills are continuing to develop.
I'm a huge fan of the game. I always have basketball on. I always want to watch it as much as I can. And I could name players for an hour that I love watching, and that's how much talent I think is all across the country. And for me, I think that's what's going to grow the game more than anything is, you know, you have to have some parity. You have to have really great players all across the country. It can't just be one or two or three people. It's got to be multiple people, and that's what really sparks conversation and gets people wanting to watch the game more and more.
All right, listen. I want us quality over quantity, play as hard as we can, game plan, lock in. Okay, how you're gonna do it today is how you're gonna do it tomorrow night. And I can't wait to see us kick ass tomorrow night. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Team, 1, 2, 3. Team.
Obviously, men's and women's basketball is different. It's a different sport, and it is frustrating to me sometimes why we feel the need as a society, a sports society, to compare the two. I love men's basketball. I love watching it. It's awesome. And, you know, the spectacular plays, the dunking and all that is great.
We shoot like that. We're winning.
I'm not trying to play like the men's game. It's a different game, different sport, but I love women's basketball for women's basketball.
Obviously, men are more athletic. They jump higher, they be dunking and all this. that's like super fun to watch for like a fan base. And I think that's why women's sports has been kind of in the shadows of that. But the biggest difference I can see is just that women really gotta hone in on like perfecting their craft and like skill.
There's very small things that to the general eye they wouldn't always notice is different, and the obvious comparisons about athleticism and size are there. But I think one thing that I've noticed that is not as different now is that the attitudes and the personality of the players on the women's side is allowed to shine more. And I think now as the game is evolving and we're seeing women embrace those fiery parts of them and their unique tendencies and the way they act on the court, we're seeing that gap close between men and women's basketball, and I think that that is special.
People that are emotional, people that are fiery, people that are passionate and competitive are all what people want to watch. I think that's why people turn on the TV and watch the women's game. The competitive spirit that, you know, a young woman plays with, that's what people love watching and love supporting. I think it's really helped our game grow forward.
The players right now that are most visible in the women's game, they're not afraid to sign an autograph. They're not afraid to take a picture. Men's basketball has had the viewership for years and years and years, and they really don't have to work outside of the frame of that court, just show up and play. The women have always had to do the little extra things to bring attention to the game, and we're okay with that. But now what you saw is the tickets at the Women's Championship were far more expensive than the men's ticket. The sellout and the non-sellout. And that probably was the shocking thing to me, is that you don't want to say we arrived, but that was a first, I guarantee you, for our sport.
I do think one of the cool things about women's basketball is it does provide players and coaches to bring their own personality to the floor. And you know, to me, that's part of being a woman. Like, you can dress how you want, you can do your hair how you want, and same with players. They can, you know, do the lashes, they can do the braids, they can have a little bit of swag on them in a different way.
A lot of female athletes are kind of looked at as more masculine, and it's good to see girls not caring what people think, like having that kind of feminine side while we're playing. I think it's a statement. And now I just kind of blend everything together. The women that are supporting that and kind of showcasing that, like, it's okay to be girly still while you hooping and things like that. So that's a culture I love to see, just like women supporting women. It's fun to be a part of this community. I think everybody has their own kind of thing, their own kind of swagger. For me, I kind of feel like look good, play good, and that's just always kind of been my thing. I got the name Bayou Barbie just for being who I am. My nails, lashes, and hair and stuff is always done, and just being able to tap into both sides. Don't get me wrong, like on the court, I'm a dog and ready to go, but I want to look good while playing.
To have our game elevate to this level, we got greatness in our game. We got great coaches, we got great players, we got great talent, we got great stories, we got great fans. Everything is pretty great about the state of women's basketball. So I get to live and breathe it every single day, because there was a time, maybe 10, 15, or 20 years ago, that we're just a sideshow. We're just out there because of the equality of it. Now we're in demand, so we flipped it, and it's so great to be a part of that movement.